What is up, geeks and geekettes? It's another episode of the Countdown City Geekcast. My name is Steady, and with me on this episode is the man, the myth, the legend. You know him as Joe Garcia.
I don't think JC is going to be happy with that, man, but whatever. Hey, what's going on, everybody?
I
Shout
had
out to
to
you,
just,
JC.
I always have to start it the same. Um, and joining us once again, making this triumphant return, the one and only Brett McLaughlin, also known as BMAC. What's going on, sir?
What's up, man? Good to be back.
Absolutely. Glad to have you back.
Good to finally do a show with BMAC with Brett. I've never done one
Yeah,
with
you
Brett
guys haven't
before.
had one together, and also we're not gonna do it tonight. We haven't done our Doctor Strange in the
No,
Multiverse of Madness review,
that's
but
not a bad thing. That's not a
that
bad thing,
might be
Teddy.
something that we have to take care of like tomorrow or something, and maybe we'll bring Brett back on for that one.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. We have a lot of stuff to talk about because shows over the last 2 weeks that we got to get caught up on. Well, not first, but we're going to talk about Superman and Lois. It's back, and then it went back on break. I don't know what the schedule is, but we're going to be catching up by talking about episodes 10 and 11 of Superman and Lois, which is the best DC show on TV probably right now. We're also going to be talking about Joe's favorite show, Halo. Episode 8 dropped last week. The finale is this week? No, not the finale.
No,
I
I
don't think it's
hope,
the
man.
finale.
I'm praying that it ends already. Put out of its misery.
There you go. And then, yeah, so we're going to be talking about last week's very interesting episode of Halo. But first, we have Brett on here to help us out with the best animated series for sure of DC, and that is, of course, Young Justice Phantoms. And if you're caught up with us, we actually discussed episode 21 last time, which was the ending of Arc 4. Episode 22 is actually the beginning of Arc 5 and is the start of Nightwing. So I'm going to go ahead and put Nightwing blue color here as the theme. But yeah, we're going to be talking about episode 22 of Young Justice Phantoms, the start of Arc 5, which is also known as the Nightwing arc. So we're going to do this as we start all of these discussions with a quick rundown summary. And it goes a little something like this. We open on Lord Zod taking the Legion members and Kid Flash hostage on the bioship. He seeks out the Kaiser Thrall, which was taken to Oa by the Green Lantern Corps. Um, Grayson is traveling with Haley Circus as he does every few years and is visited by Zatanna, who asks for his help. They start investigating and notice that Kid Flash is missing as well. He is last seen with two Legionnaires, but unknown to Grayson or Zatanna. Justice League records show that Bart borrowed space tech from their vault, which most likely meant they went off world. When discussing this with Rocket, she saw the portal to the Phantom Zone along with a camouflaged bioship. They bring in Calder to complete a spell which will call upon Clarion, who has been to the Phantom Zone. We knew that. I don't know how the team knew that, but we knew that. Things don't go as planned as Clarion decides to fight the team instead of saving Connor. Zatanna is able to keep him at bay, but that option has been exhausted. General Zod finds out Connor is of House L and is not happy about it. He learns of the destruction of Krypton and how Clark survived. So, we got a bunch of answers to my questions from the last time we talked about it. I was wondering, how the hell does General Zod not know about Superboy and his lineage, and he's the reason why the Legion is around at all. So like he was not privy to that information, I guess. Don't know how, but let's get your gentlemen's thoughts about it. Brett, your thoughts on episode 22. What did you think about the first episode of Nightwing's arc?
I liked it. I like where they're going with the episodes. I, I'm interested to see how everything plays out with Superboy finding out that Superman is alive for one, because he
Ooh,
thinks he's dead.
does he?
Um,
Well, I
yeah,
mean,
because
y-
he thinks he
he's
killed
having
him.
hallucinations. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So once they get out of the Phantom Zone, how's that going to play out? And of course, General Zod thinking, there is no Superman, no Kal El.
That's a weird
Um,
detail, but you're right.
yeah,
That's going to play a part somehow. That was written in specifically for a reason. What that is, we won't know for a while, but yeah, for sure.
but yeah, it's a great episode. And I'm glad to see Nightwing back, and of course everybody loves Nightwing. So
Everybody loves Nightwing.
yeah,
And you get to see Nightwing like in his element. Like he's figuring the stuff out and he's sort of rambling on about like what scenario went down, and he's nailing it. He's nailing everything, like every single aspect of the situation. He's like spewing it down. He's just laying it all out, and it's just coming off the top of his head. Like he's not even sure about it. He's kind of taking a well educated guess about it, but he's spot on, and that's Dick effing Grayson, people.
yeah.
Awesome, Joe. I know
When he
you love
first
this episode. Oh, what was that, Brett?
when he first gets on the computer and he's a little rusty at it, and then all of a sudden it's just boom, like 1,000 miles an hour. It's cool to see.
I love it. I loved it. I
No,
love seeing him in his element.
No, I liked the episode too. I thought it was cool. It was cool seeing Nightwing just, basically in its purest form, he's just being a detective, trying to decipher the clues that are given to him and, kind of presenting the group with evidence to kind of support his claims. And they're like, and the funny thing to me was when they were in the coffee shop and he's kind of explaining to them, these are my theories, like his way out there, uh, theories about what's going on, and they're kind of not believing him, and they're like, "Are you okay?" Kind of like he's some kind of crazy guy, in a dungeon or something. But yeah, his assumptions of what was kind of taking place were right on par, and Superman not being able to give any more information to them because, like he said, it can kind of mess with with time itself, and really have things unravel in a bad way, so as it is right now, things are kind of dicey, so I guess the more the more at risk you put everything else and in flux, as far as the time, uh I guess the time element of everything, because there's been a lot of time travel going on. And I thought the interesting part again too was General Zod not kind of knowing anything. You had Superboy kind of having to fill in the blanks, and like I guess time passes differently in the Phantom Zone because to them it's like
Oh
they
yeah, for
haven't been
sure.
there that long. It's like to me it seems like they don't think that they've been there for 40 plus years. It's like to them it might have just been blink of an eye, and then they have this new guy showing up and is like, "Where do you come from?" And he's drawing the little symbol in the dirt or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, you're from the House of L." But then when he's telling them, "Hey, I dispatched, Superman, I killed him," and they went and sent him to Earth, and I'm like, dude, you're just feeding him all the info. You told him you killed Superman. You're telling him the yellow sun gives him superpowers. I'm like, when he gets out of the Phantom
It's
Zone, where do you
bad.
think this dude's gonna head to? You just told him what world he can go and conquer and rebuild Krypton on. I'm like, come on, man. you know
Yeah, this you get the feeling like this is not going to end well. You're giving him too much. You're giving him way too much of an advantage right now.
Yeah.
I
And I don't
loved
know
it
who the other
when
character was. Who was the girl that was laying down on that little platform
Phantom
next
Girl.
to him? Phantom Girl. She all but told him shut up. You
Shut the
what the fuck?
close your goddamn mouth. What are you doing?
Exactly.
Oh my god. I love the moment when Zod was like the planet blew up and nobody did anything,
Yeah.
and I think Connor told him something like Jor-El tried to but nobody would listen, and Gerald's all like, yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, because he knows
Yeah,
about
that
Jor-El.
tracks.
He's like,
Yeah.
nobody would listen to him. Nobody. He's like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
He
believe
goes,
that.
like,
Yeah.
that's my people. They wouldn't listen. And like,
Yeah.
how did it was funny too because he's like, well, how did Krypton perish? He's like, a star blew up, and he's like, oh,
Yeah.
well, okay, makes sense.
Those crazy stars always blowing up stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the way it goes. Freaking fantastic episode. I'm just like blown away that Nightwing was able to kind of piece it all together. And it wasn't an easy thing to do. It just totally made sense. And not only was it a great Nightwing episode, but we got Clarion back. And there's never a dull
Cat
moment
boy.
with Clarion around,
Cat
dude.
boy. I call him Cat boy. But what the hell's wrong with Zatanna, dude? Like, you're gonna go ahead and summon this brother, and you don't think nothing's gonna go down? I'm like, come on.
She's well, she thought she had it all figured out, right? Clarion was gonna enter the tower because he just really, really hates it. It didn't sound like it was a solid plan, but she was all in on it. She was totally convinced, like, no, never in a million years would he step into the tower of fate. And no, she totally
Dr. Fate
got,
wasn't even there.
got
She's
that
like, the
wrong.
dude's not even here, man. So it's like, I'm not scared.
Yeah. I would have waited. I don't know. I mean, I guess they're kind of pressed for time, in a weird way, but yeah, I would have waited for Fate to come around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
I
just
don't
me.
know, man. This was not a well thought out plan. Let's put it like that. You know?
Let's talk about theory here. There's a couple of things that actually, real quick, the end of the episode, they're talking about the Kaiser Thrall on Oa, and they dropped some weird, freakish information. They said there's not a spirit. It's
The
almost like
boy.
there's somebody inside. But they didn't say like the essence of somebody inside. They said no, there's somebody inside the box. A male, I think is what they said.
Yeah,
That's
it's a boy.
11 Earth years.
Yeah.
Who the heck could this be? Any
You got
theories at
me.
all about this?
I
There's
got
there
nothing, man.
there is a DC Comics character called Thrall, but it's definitely not a boy. He's definitely not 11. I mean, he's not 11. So I don't think the writers are trying to be too direct about that. I feel like, and this is just me, that with all of the sort of time traveling stuff, that this could be either a character we've known or a character we should know of already, and it's just from the future that they captured. It could be like Rocket's son. I don't know how old he is now, but when he's 11, they captured him. I'm not saying it should be Rocket's son or like I have a good reason why it's Rocket's son. I'm just saying like I feel like whoever they're going to reveal is going to have some sort of major tie-in to one of the characters now. That's all I'm thinking. Any thoughts
Yeah,
about that?
and the thing is it was an 11-year-old human boy, you know?
Yes.
So that was very specific, in them saying it wasn't an alien or anything like that or a superhuman. They said it was an 11-year-old human boy. And the thing is, we don't know how long he's actually been trapped in that thing, because for all we know, maybe time passes different, you know?
Sure.
So how long he's been in there, we have no idea who it is, but obviously, like you said, specifics here, they said human. So some way somehow it's going to tie in, like you said, I believe it's going to tie into one of the main characters. Maybe this is somebody from this present earth, or maybe it's somebody from another earth, that's inside that box for some reason.
The only other thing that kind of was interesting to me is that I believe it was Greg Wiseman on Twitter. They did a Young Justice watch party, like a couple of days after it dropped. No, the day the last episode dropped, but like it was in the evening time. They did a watch party. They watched the last two episodes back to back. I didn't get to stay on the entire time, but I did see one thing that was interesting. Greg Wiseman said the Kaiser Thrall's laser beams were meant to look a lot like dark sides. So that was curious. Like I'm not saying it has to be dark side or it can't be right because they said it was a human. But
Human.
why? What is the reason to make the beams mimic the movement of dark sides. Why do that? If
Well,
it's only a human boy, 11 years old, for whatever reason he's in there.
well, magic could play a part in it because Darkseid's real origin story is he got powered up because he got a power up through magic means, you know?
Yeah,
So
I can see
maybe
that.
that same kind of thing could transpire here. We don't know for sure, but obviously there's something amiss, something going on right now, with the I guess with the Kaiser Thrall contains the remnants of the 11-year-old boy, human boy. So what
Yeah.
does Brett think, man? Why don't we get
It
Brett's
said
ideas?
it said that it was the mind of an 11-year-old boy, right?
It
That's trapped in the
remains or
box.
something.
It's
I didn't hear mind.
The
I think
remnants. It said the
yeah,
remnants
the
of an
remnants.
11-year-old human boy.
And
I
of
don't even
course, we
remember
have no
remnants,
we
but
have no
yeah.
idea how long it's been in there. So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly, exactly. So I mean, I'm stumped. I got nothing, as far as any theories.
unless it's one of the kids that the light took at some point.
Ooh, interesting. It could be, right?
Yeah,
Maybe it's one of these metas that had, you know,
But they said human. They
massive
didn't say it
power.
was superhuman.
yeah.
No, but still, all metas on Earth are still part human. It could work. Here's the last interesting thing. The Arc 5 poster with Nightwing in the center of it. Um, that time sphere is on it in major form. Poster, which was done by friend of the show Christopher Jones. I think the time sphere might come back into play only because I see it on the poster. Why put on the poster if it has nothing to do? It was out of commission in the last arc. Like, why put the time sphere back into the poster at all is curious to me. But yeah, very excited. Very excited to see where this goes. I wonder if I was kind of wondering, since a bioship has the cosmic treadmill on it, can't that just be a time machine now? Like, doesn't Laura have everything he needs with that? All you need is a cosmic treadmill, right? And then time is yours. That's what my thought was. Maybe they don't want to tell Lorzod that because then he'll use it for nefarious reasons, obviously. But I don't know what else they could probably do for time travel. I feel like the time sphere might come back into play. I don't know if they can repair it. They really can't get it now because the time sphere is with Metron in his vault, and they're not going back there again. I don't think. Let's hope not. I don't know. Any theories on sort of how this will end or what's going to happen next?
I want to hear what Brett has to say.
Man. um, this box is an OA, correct?
The Kaiser Thralls and Oa, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing at some point they're going to go to OA.
Yeah, that's where Lor says he's heading next.
And so I don't know if the heroes are going to follow or if it's just going to be the Young Justice group or if it's going to be like Superman and the rest of them. But I think it's going to end on Oa.
Interesting. It doesn't seem like a good plan that Zod's going to try and take the Kaiser Thrall out of Oa, the headquarters of the Green Lantern Corps. Like, you really shouldn't get out of there alive. It doesn't
Yeah.
seem like it seems like a suicide mission. What it seems like is what I'm trying to say. We'll see what happens with that. I don't think it's going to go well for him there. I always thought that Zatanna, because Fate is a Lord of Order, that he could enter and exit the Phantom Zone like Clarion did, who's a Lord of Chaos. Apparently not, since she's not come up with that idea. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
maybe
we'll
she hasn't
see.
thought about it yet. She hasn't thought about that yet.
I mean,
And
maybe they're just trying to stretch out the story, but I kind of felt like it was a given. Like, Lord of Chaos can go into the Phantom Zone. It means the Lord of Order can go into the Phantom Zone. But I think somewhere in this episode they mentioned like that's not possible. Actually, they're gonna go look for the bus, I guess, to figure out
The
how
magic
Clarion
school
did
bus.
it.
The
Yeah, so
magic school bus.
they're gonna go find the bus. Maybe then they'll see like this is how Clarion got into the Phantom Zone, and then she will be able to figure out how to get to the Phantom Zone as Fate. Maybe, and then maybe does Connor don't even want to get out? Dude is like flat out brainwashed. Like I don't think it's gonna be an easy thing to convince him to just come back home. Come with your family, Connor.
It's gonna get real. What do they call it? Pet cemetery, man.
Pet
Now,
cemetery.
does Zod need to get out of Oa though, or does he just need to get there and like open this box or activate it in some
You're
way?
right. You're right. No idea.
Because
Maybe,
we have no idea how much power is in that thing. So
not at all. Maybe it's somebody who can siphon power. Maybe it's
like,
like what's a Superman villain? No, I'm not gonna figure it out. But
yeah, yeah, but I mean, if it's got apocalypse power in it, which is hinted at, but it's being controlled by the mind of an 11-year-old, that's kind of scary.
freaking A.
You get an
Who's
angry
the
kid with apocalypse power. That's a scary thing, man.
Yeah, I have no idea. I hope that whoever's in this, whatever the reveal is, I hope it just blows our mind. And I have no idea who it could be. It kind of just feels like either the person that they've captured is being used for computing power or to store energy. I kind of feel like it's one or the other. Maybe it's both. Maybe it's a person who just has like a supercomputer of a mind, but who can also harness energy and they can, use it as they wish. Stuff like that. Who that is that fits both of those things? No idea.
A younger
Not really
version of
sure.
Cyborg. I'm just playing.
Hey, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no idea. I really hope it's a big reveal. I hope they blow our minds with it. This is exciting though. I must admit, like this season really surprised me. I thought I knew where it would go. I thought these arcs were going to sort of be independent of one another because that's how the first few of them went. And instead, look where we're at now. Teams all together. They're working as a unit. They're trying to get Connor, who we thought's been dead since episode what 4, maybe 5 of this season. And the Legion, they've been planting this whole Legion storyline since last season, since season 3. How freaking amazing is that, bro? Like, I don't remember how long ago it was. I think it was, but it was after they had canceled season 2. I think they asked one of the showrunners, like, "Hey, so how many seasons did you guys already have like planned for? After you guys were canceled." And this was either leading up to season 3 or it was before they announced the third season. But I think one of the showrunners said we already had 7 seasons outlined. Like I'm not talking like details and like thorough storylines, but they had the like maybe the outline of what everything was going to be for 7 freaking seasons. How crazy is that?
Yeah. What about, just a theory throwing it out there?
Do
But
it.
one of the other characters that kind of fits the bill with computing power that actually comes with the computer is the Blue Beetle. Maybe it's a version
Ah.
of that, the Scarab, somebody who is, you know, maybe from another universe, maybe another Earth, another Jaime Reyes. Who knows, Just throwing it out there.
Ah. How old the Jaime is probably I mean, I know you didn't say Jaime, but Jaime was probably a teenager, right?
Yeah, teen at the time, but who knows? There may be other in another Earth. There's something different, circumstances. Maybe something else occurred, but I'm just saying.
Yep, yep. Oops. My bad. Let's see here. Victor's in the chat. Victor Garcia says, "Hello, Steady and guys. I'm here again watching y'all's review. What's up, man? Thanks for joining."
Yeah, we're not going to be doing a review of Doctor Strange, although we need to.
We absolutely need to. Very, very soon. Cool. Any final thoughts? Any last thoughts about either episode 22? Also, anybody in the chat, what are your theories? Let us know in the chat. How do you think this is going to play out? How does the team get into the Phantom Zone? Or how do they break Connor out? Will he be willing to come out? I'm not 100% sure of that. I think he might he might fight to get Zod out of the Phantom Zone before he saves himself. Like Lord Zod might not need to do anything. Lord just might be sitting back, and like Connor is the one that brings General Zod out in the first place. Completely possible that that's what happens. And
Connor
if
could come
General
out and
Zod
just
gets
yeah, Connor could come out and grab the whatever the thing is. I forget what it's called. The,
the Phantom
whatever they
projector,
yeah. If they get a Phantom projector again,
if they
he
get
could just
another
get
one,
out and let Zod and everyone out.
and
Well,
then
they got
all
that
hell breaks
treadmill. They could
loose.
just go back.
Yeah,
They could just go back in time and pick it up again.
yeah,
That's what
there you
I'm
go.
wondering. Is it's a cosmic treadmill. They should be able to time travel with that, but I guess maybe they don't want to or something. Who knows? Yeah, pretty crazy. Awesome. Well, that does it for our talk on Young Justice Phantoms episode 22. That's the first episode of Arc 5. Again, let us know what your theories are in the chat below. Let us know how you think this is going to play out. Who the heck's in the Kaiser Thrall? If you have a theory on that, I would love to hear it. It feels like it's just somebody who's able to harness power or just has massive, massive computing, um, like brain capacity. That's where I'm kind of leaning towards on these things. But yeah, let us know in the comments, or you can send us a message on Facebook, or you can always email us on the contact page of our website at www.countdowntothegeekcast.com. Brett, I know you didn't get a chance to check out the other shows that we're talking about today. So
Yep,
you're welcome to drop, man. I appreciate it. We'll have you on next week if you're free, brother.
definitely, man. Just let me know.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, man. Thanks.
Heck
Thanks,
yeah.
Brett.
We'll catch you guys later. Later, Joe.
Later, man. I was reading some of the comments that other people have been putting out there on Reddit to say who they think is inside the Kaiser Thrall. And
Uh-oh.
they're pretty funny, man. Somebody put the son of Vandal Savage, a kid from the Magic
Mm.
School Bus, has the most votes right now. Mr. Miracle, Thrall, an apocalyptic warlock. So I'm just saying, there's just a whole bunch of theories going on right now, but that one was really funny. A kid from the Magic School Bus.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised. Awesome. We need to get caught up on Superman and Lois. I hope you guys are watching it. If not, I suggest you watch it because it's a pretty phenomenal show. We'll get caught up. I'm going to talk about these back to back, and then we can discuss them. But first off is episode 10, Bizarros in a Bizarro World. Last we saw Clark, he was traveling through the vortex to Bizarro World. He runs into this world's Jonathan L. and informs him his father has passed. When this world's Lois shows up, we get a flashback to the moment Jonathan revealed his powers to the public. His father wasn't always around. He was enjoying too much of the limelight and not 100% on Jonathan becoming a hero. This led to John to Allie. Sorry, this led John to Allie and his search for Anderson from our Earth. I'm gonna say our Earth, even though like we're not a part of this world. Anderson brought both pendants to Bizarre World, but his reverse self was actually killed by Jonathan. That was pretty dope. In a showdown in Bizarro World, the Allies confront Clark and Bizarro Lois to obtain the pendants. After the battle, Clark and Anderson are defeated, and the Allies begin their merge. Bizarro Jonathan flies to Earth to kidnap his other half, while Tal Rowe allows Clark to go after him. think he sacrificed himself in that regard, if I'm not mistaken. This leads us to episode 11, Truth and Consequences. Bizarro Jonathan wreaks havoc in Smallville. Lana Lane gets kidnapped. Superman gets shanked with some kryptonite. John Henry meets Bizarro Lana. Jordan kicks some ass. And Clark shares a secret. Joe, your thoughts on these two episodes? A lot of fun, right? Especially being in Bizarro World. That was a trip.
Yeah, Bizarro World, it was a trip, but you find out time passes differently there as well. He thought he was only gone for what, an hour or so, and he was
Well, we
actually
knew,
gone for a whole month
yeah, we. Oh, that's a good point. Because yeah, we knew he was gone for a month on our Earth.
on our Earth. Yeah, but in the Bizarro World, time passes differently there. Um,
Wow,
Possibly due to maybe the wormhole that he went through. Anytime you pass through something of that nature, maybe due to the confines of gravity, as we find out, gravity has a different uh, part to play when it comes to time moving differently. So going through this, he's a super being, didn't wear the suit. So um, it just affects him a little differently. Time's going to be displaced differently in that bizarro world. So that's interesting to me. The other thing is just the square Earth, and
they
just the
actually
way,
did it. Yeah, it was
yeah, they
awesome.
actually did the square Earth thing, and just the way that I guess things are almost similar, but just a little different. People carrying on about their normal lives. And the funny thing to me was seeing Jonathan before he became Superboy, kind of living in his father's shadow, and his dad is more into the limelight and more into getting that attention on him. He's kind of like a celebrity, a big celebrity, a
Major
lister.
superstar. Yeah,
Yeah, there. So he sees somebody that well, Jonathan sees somebody falling down, and what Bizarro Jonathan does, and his thinks his father's going to jump into action, and he's too busy, talking to the press, the paparazzi. So he jumps into action and saves this individual, and there you go, the reveal, that there is another super here, and it's Jonathan, and then they start, getting his look done, kind of with the tight, stretchy jeans or whatnot, and he's doing that stupid symbol with his hand. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, that's so dumb, dude. I mean, like it was cringe worthy, and
it
that's
was.
his
It
his
was.
call sign.
Yes.
Yeah, that's bad, dude. Really cringe worthy stuff, man. And just seeing the
I don't
way
know if
that
I'm doing it.
that the fame is affecting him as well, and then you see him going and talking with what's her name, that other girl that they call the one that merged together,
Ali.
Allie. Yeah, that Bizarro Allie, uh, talking with him and influencing him, and there you go. That's one of her main, I think, superpowers, is the ability to influence others to see things differently from her perspective. She's very good at it. And not only does she, go ahead and have Jonathan, but also, Superman's brother, and Lana are on, decide to join her as well. And it's just showing her, how she's building her army, so to speak. So Allie is a very good manipulator. So and then you see Lois in the Bizarro dimension, and she's trying to kind of save her family,
Yeah.
and it's not working, man. Like even Superman, and her having some marriage issues, and he's always busy with work and always going about, never around, and missing out on family time and watching the kids grow up and whatnot. And it's really affecting her. And at this point, she's like, "I'm done, let's go." So that's an interesting dynamic that's happening, almost kind of mirroring what's happening on this particular Earth, but Lois is more understanding towards it, But again, he's still missing a lot of things, and it goes to show in the next step, the episode that just aired, where Jonathan is saying, secrets are killing the family. It's like they need to
Yep.
start revealing what's going on, and trusting people, because this secret that he's been carrying around for so long, it's really starting to show how it's affecting the family members, like the family friends, the close family friends, and the relationship with Sarah, so to speak, is on the fritz because she just says, "Oh, you don't want to spend time with me anymore, you don't like me no more," and she's over it, But it's all due to keeping secrets. Secrets
That's
kill,
right.
So I like all that. I like how they were able to get that family dynamic and really make it a part of the show before, in other Superman series that have come out before this, that dynamic isn't so prevalent, and in this one it is. And the writing has been so great in this season that it's actually worked, quite well. So it's like they're putting the family in real dire situations that have consequences, So I like the direction of these last two episodes. I know it's leading up to something, So I'm liking it, man. I'm digging it, dude. I'm also feeling bad for Bizarro. It's like the
He
poor
was just
guy, man.
misunderstood. Yeah.
He's going through all this stuff, and in the end, he's trying to, save his family, and he just winded up making the ultimate sacrifice, and unfortunate for the guy, he's just trying to redeem himself.
I speaking about redeeming, I think episode 10, one of the major themes is all about redemption. So Tal Rho, the Bizarro Tal Rho, Superman's brother, like he, even though this wasn't his, blood brother, he actually helps like our Earth Clark in that regard. And then Anderson, Lieutenant or General Anderson, who turned heel and became a villain and wanted to help Ali and all this nonsense. He ended up trying to stop her, and he kind of, you know, couldn't take back all the nonsense he was doing, but he definitely tried, and he tried to help Clark out. And so
Yeah.
you got to give it up to Anderson for
Well,
at
he
least,
found out who Superman's secret in the Bizarro world, Oh, that's why you were doing all this to protect your family,
yeah,
So he in the end, finally saw the error of his ways. He thought Superman was trying to lie to him and do something dirty, trying to keep these secrets away from him. And again, it's showing how Superman's secrets are affecting other people. I believe if he would have just come out and been honest with the guy up front, their relationship would have been a lot better and his fate wouldn't have been so gruesome. He wouldn't have had to give up his life to save, Superman or help him out in a way, So I guess Superman needs to start thinking about the secret is killing people, you
yep,
know?
yep, absolutely. And which is exactly why we see at the end of episode 11 that he tells Lana. And I kind of just want to tell like Lana, really, like just the glasses coming off, and
Let me take
now
off
you're
my
like,
glasses.
yeah,
I'll
it's like
reveal my
you
true identity, Ted.
couldn't put that on. I mean, you couldn't put two and two together, but it's fine. It's just funny. Like I need to tell you a secret. It's just the glasses, and then levitating a little bit. It's like, oh my god! And she had just seen Superman flying like
She
a
even
few
invited him into the
hours
house.
before. Yeah. Oh, yeah, she
Yeah,
did.
she invited him into the house, dude.
So,
"You wanna come in?" I'm like, "Damn, you got to hit the gas like that."
oh my god. It's funny. It's fun. It's always funny whenever someone's like, "Oh my god, you're Superman." It's like, "Yeah, the glasses wasn't a major costume disguise. Like, you should have figured this out by now." But
Yeah.
this season's been great. I wish the episodes would just get released, but we keep having these breaks in between, and I guess they're just trying to stretch this out as far as they possibly can for whatever reason.
I think there's something going on with production as well, I think these
Could
episodes
be, could
that
be.
have come out, they're probably adding some things or maybe, some little embellishments here and there to the final product to get it ready for air, airtime,
Yeah.
and they still need some work, and they're kind of been procrastinating, so they have to kind of put things on hiatus and push them back a little bit because I mean, when they shot this, I believe this particular season was still affected by COVID in some way, so maybe they're still trying to catch up.
Yeah. It definitely possible. I would believe that in a heartbeat that that was a reason for it. But this season's been great, and this last one we also got more of John Henry, which I thought was pretty cool. Kind of feels like that was the only reason that Bizarro Lana like showed up in the first place, is because they needed somebody to fight with John Henry. But he held his own. He did pretty good. Um, Bizarro Jonathan stabbing Clark. First off, setting up this pipe kryptonite pipe
Yeah,
bomb. That was dope. Like you don't see that a lot. That's pretty genius to do that. So that was pretty awesome. And then later on, stabbing him with a shard in the chest. I'm like, okay, this could kill him like really quickly, but they're sort of playing very, I don't know, they're playing a little cavalier with kryptonite in this universe. Like it doesn't hurt him as much right away because even being in the presence of kryptonite is supposed to weaken Superman. And so even when like Lana takes out all these shards, he's still supposed to be really weak because they're still in the room, and yet he's like, "I'm good now," and he takes off and he flies off. And I'm like, I'll go with it. I'll go with it. But most iterations, like you're not supposed to be within like 5 feet of this stuff or 10 feet of this
yeah.
stuff.
He needs
Just
time to heal. He needs to go and get the power of the
right.
absorb the power of the sun. You know.
He should need time to heal first, not just get up and get ready to go and all that good stuff. But anyways, I really like the fight between Bizarro, Jonathan, and Jordan. That was freaking dope. Them flying in the sky, Jordan,
Yeah. Jordan got his
getting
ass beat, and then he finally said, "I'm gonna power up. I'm gonna go
I'm gonna
Super
power
Saiyan."
up. I loved it. It was an entertaining bout between the two of them. And yeah, Jordan came out on top. I mean, he's using all that training from his
Well, I got a
grandfather,
theory
putting
on
it to good
why he
use.
came out on top. Got a theory on
I
why he came out
I
on
think
top.
it's the same as mine. Go for it.
Yeah, basically, we've seen that, when Superman went into the Bizarro world, that red sun that they have over there, of course, is going to weaken him. So the opposite effect is going to happen to anybody coming into this particular
Yep.
Earth. The yellow sun, I think, finally caught up to Bizarro Jonathan,
Yep.
and by him, really beating up Jordan, that finally expelled whatever he had left in him. And the yellow sun finally weakened him to a state where Jordan was able to dispatch him, but at the same time, Jordan awakened, some more of his power, kind of unlocked a little bit more of it because he was surprised that he was even flying up in the sky as well. He kind of jumped and he was flying there for a little bit, and then he's like, "Oh crap, how do I do this? I'm falling." And then Daddy came to save him. But I mean, that's to me, that's probably why he was able to overpower Jonathan, because even Superman was having trouble with Jordan because he was weakened by the red sun. But over here in
Right.
this universe, or in this earth, I mean, Jonathan was still able to hold his own against Superman even though he had the power of the yellow sun. So the kid's pretty strong.
Absolutely. Yeah, and actually that's the exact same theory that I had. Not only is it weakening Bizarro Jonathan, but it's actually like kind of powering up Jordan a little bit, giving him a little bit of a boost.
Yeah.
And I think he kind of knew that. Like that's kind of one of the reasons why he got him in the sky in the first place, was to sort of get a little bit of a boost, a little bit of charge up, if you will. And then it was like I mentioned, a really entertaining fight. I really like the way they choreographed all that, because it's really hard to write fights about Kryptonians who don't get bruised, don't bleed, don't get hurt. Like
Yeah.
things can get really awkward quickly, but they do it really well in the show. So I really appreciated that. Um, what's next? Showdown with Ali.
I think the showdown with Allie is going to be next, but even they have warned. I mean, she's the Allie that I think that's presently on Bizarro, this Bizarro world. I think she's already merged with other Allies, and every time she does, she powers up, and gets even stronger. So I think she needs to power or absorb this alley to even gain more power, as they've warned. When she absorbs this essence of alley, it's like putting pieces together. And every
You
time
think
she
so?
gathers a piece, she gets stronger. Yeah, because I think there's something that she's not revealing. I mean, when you're trying to lie in the shadows, you're trying to she's really good at executing her plan, and she's pulling the strings, kind of like Palpatine, from Star Wars. And he's strong and he's formidable, but he doesn't always have to be because he has other people doing his work for him to execute his plan. I think that's what Allie's doing. She's crafting this plan, and it's not just spanning this bizarro Earth, but multiple Earths at the same time. And I think that's her play, is that she's wanting to execute this plan and get powered up. Then she's going to go and say, okay, I'm so strong now that I'm not going to have anybody that's going to oppose me. So I can easily go to these other Earths and go ahead and absorb the alley there and get even stronger, because
I
once she absorbs this alley, it looks like not even any version of Superman would be able to go up against her.
You're probably right. She's going to be very OP when they finally go head to head. But I think that with these pendants, or just with the way sort of we're learning about merging, I think these are the only two worlds that can merge. And I think it only works because these are like exact opposites of one another. Every other like multiverse is probably like a slight version of you or me, but in these two multiverses, these two dimensions, they're like exact opposites, and that's why those are the only ones that sort of work when it comes to merging. I could be wrong. I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen, but she's gonna be very OP. Clark's not gonna be able to handle this on his own. Gonna have to use a lot of XK to take her down, probably. I think, right?
Yeah, but if he does
Hopefully,
that, it's going to start changing him, kind of like it did the Bizarro Superman. You know,
well, it gives him a boost, doesn't it? XK
it
gives him
gives
a.
him a
It
boost, but
would
because
give
he
him a
kept,
boost on our Earth.
yeah, but because of the other Bizarro Superman, he kept relying so heavily on it with inhaling that kryptonite, that it started changing his appearance to Bizarro. Finally that uh, White Walker Superman that we kind of saw, because it was
Ah,
a
yeah, you're right.
side
You're right.
effect side effect from inhaling the kryptonite. So if our Superman in this Earth does that, XK or whatever, how is that going to affect him? There's going to have to be some side effect.
Maybe John Henry can just weaponize it, and that
We'll
way,
see.
Clark doesn't have to boost himself, but they can use it to weaken Allie. Does she even have a weakness? She's now, parts of two people, and one of them XK is a weakness, and one of them XK is a strength
And
builder,
enhancer.
an
Yeah,
enhancer. Yeah, so I'm gonna take that back. I have no idea what's gonna weaken her. I don't think she has any weaknesses. Maybe the
that's what I'm
pendants.
saying.
The only thing is you can try and do is destroy whatever pendant is keeping her
I think
whole.
that's the weakness. That's her weakness. I think the pendant is her weakness because I think there's a way to undo it using the pendants, and it's
Undo it.
maybe it may be something that they're going to probably find out maybe in this next episode or two. They'll find out how to reverse the effects of the pendants themselves. If they merge, you can unmerge them.
Right. I think so too. Awesome. Well, I am excited to see what happens. Hopefully, the new episode drops next week, and we don't have to wait any longer because it's been 2 weeks in a row now with no new episodes. So,
Yeah.
hopefully, it comes back quickly. Let us know what you guys thought in the chat, or you can send us a message on Facebook. Let us know what you thought about episodes 10 and 11. Let us know your theories going forward. How does Clark stop Allie? Does he stop Allie? Do we lose somebody? John Henry's still developing sort of a new tech, and I think that's going to play a major role in what's going to happen going forward. So we'll see what happens there. Or you can always email us on the contact page of our website at www.countdowncitygeekcast.com. Joe, are you ready, sir, to
Not
talk about the best number one show? I
see,
can't even
he
say that
started
straight.
choking, man.
Of the year. Are you ready to talk about Halo?
No, man. I don't know what the hell's going on with Halo, dude. It took a turn and it has never recovered, dude. I'm waiting for this train wreck to finish. I don't even like watching the series anymore, dude. I'll be honest with you.
Well, it's been a very weird season. I'm going to be 100% with you on that, but we have to talk about it. So let's go ahead and discuss this first. Not first, let's discuss the latest episode, Halo, episode 8, titled Agents. The UNSC decides to allow McKee to assist in finding the Covenant. Master Chief and her play Find the Energy Sword, wink. McKee loses her energy finger, wink, wink. Halsey tries to manipulate McKee and sends the Spartans after John, but Cortana goes rogue and betrays her. And then lastly, McKee is outed by Miranda and tortured slightly, but then activates the artifact to escape Reach. I don't know if this listen, listen, listen everybody. How you doing out there? Ah, I guess this might be the last time I expect the show to sort of do anything that's video game related. I'm going to stop expecting things to happen from the game. I don't know what's going to happen going forward. I think, when the dust settles, McKee is gone. Maybe she has the artifact with her, and then John has to go find her. That's it. That's all I got. I don't think anything from the game is going to get incorporated. And this sounds and looks like it's me complaining about, like, oh, I didn't get my Halo show. I'm not doing that. It's just it's weird. It's weird to have so many decisions and so many storylines and character development that don't make a lot of sense. You know,
Yeah,
ah, never thought
but
we would see
you
John
feel for
Holmes having.
McKee though. You
Do
feel for
I?
McKee because look at what happened to her, and you see her origin story. She was
Yeah,
always
I
betrayed and
I
used.
get it. I
The
get it.
human
I get
race has
it.
done nothing for her but betray her and hurt her. And then again, you see it prevalent here. They're doing the same thing to her again, so
Right.
why she's trying to be, like I guess for the love of duty, with the covenant. That's basically all she's living for, because the covenant, for all intents and purposes, have treated her better than her own race. She's trying to figure things out. She's one of the blessed ones, the reclaimers, you know,
The blends.
and
Yeah.
so is John. So she finds a kindred spirit in John, and they do things. They do some things in this episode because I guess he has feelings for her now, and she has feelings for him. And even what's her name? Dr. Halsey's like, "Oh, John has a girlfriend." Doesn't sound like she's too happy about that. She wants to be, because she wants to be able to control everything. And that's the thing that I think was prevalent in this episode is control. She thinks that she can control everything and manipulate everything from where she's at. Even them telling her, "Yeah, you got till noon to get off this planet. You're basically done. You got no power here. You got to get in your ship and get out of here. It's time for you to go." And she has one more play at hand, and she's telling the Spartans basically execute Order 66 to play right out of Star Wars, doing that Palpatine thing, and doesn't go as she had planned, especially with Cortana going rogue, which we all knew that was going to happen. Cortana is basically a sentient being. She has her own thoughts. She has, you know, she can choose her own side. She's not purely a program. She's almost like a living organism, capable of her own thoughts, and
Yeah.
being able to do what she wants. And at this point, she wants to keep Master Chief alive. She has this, I guess, compassion, seeing things through his eyes and seeing Halsey through, John's eyes. So she's finally forced to make a decision. Yes, we placed you in here to be able to shut him down like a kill switch, but at the end of the day, Cortana's like, no, I don't want to follow your orders anymore. So it's good that she finally stood up to Dr. Halsey, not just following her programming. And I think Dr. Halsey learned uh, an important lesson here is you really don't have control over everything. You're not really as smart as you think you are. You know?
Absolutely. I'm gonna give you that. Cortana's little character, it definitely works in the grand scheme of things. But there's not like a whole lot much else that I'm really invested in. Like the whole
Yeah.
we talked about the rebellion, the Quan subplot, and
Quan
the
Ha.
Soren. Like all of that stuff didn't work for me at all. And now, Miranda is supposed to be part of the military that's like sort of on the good side. Miranda is not like her mom, not hiding things like her dad. And yet she's a kind of the person, the thing that kind of pushes McKee away. And without that, like McKee would just be trying to ask for their help and really cares about John and all that stuff. But no, Miranda's the thing. Miranda's the one, the only good one left in this military that pushes McKee away. Are we going to redeem her for that? That would be a good thing to do. If we don't redeem her, what are we doing?
Yeah, I mean
If
that's
if this leads to the destruction of the base, this artifact going off, like it's not clear what McKee's doing with the artifact. It kind of looks like the people in that room around her died, but it's not 100% clear. So what happens next?
the fall of Reach.
I'm gonna watch it, but I'm not. I don't have expectations anymore. I'm just watching to see what happens, but I'm really not invested. Don't know. I
Yeah. I
really.
don't know how many more episodes there left. Is it just the one more or is it two more?
I think it's one more. I think there's only 9, but I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to start alluding or leading up to the fall of Reach. And the thing is, they're probably going to wind up doing this in maybe next season or maybe allude to it somehow at the end of, this last episode. But how is McKee going to go ahead and take the news that the covenant have been lying to her as well, you know?
What are they
Because
lying to her about?
oh, come on, man. You know the video game lore with the covenant. They
But
hate the human race.
the video game lore is not like
It's gonna come
100%
out somehow. They're gonna
implemented
wind
in
up
this.
doing it some way. They're gonna do it in some nefarious way where it might not follow it, exact, but there's gonna be a revelation where the Covenant are lying to McKee as well. That's why they hate the human race because they believe that they were gonna be the successors, and it's not them. It was the humans that were meant to be the forerunners, successors all along, and
Mm,
the covenant made this religion based on a lie, and that's why
right.
they despise the human race so much. So they can't activate the artifacts because they're not heir to to the forerunners. It was the humans that were going to be the heir to the forerunners. So I think she'll find that out some way along the line. Maybe they'll start alluding to it in this last episode, but definitely maybe in season 2 she's going to start getting tired of being used. Let's put it like that. So I don't know. Maybe she'll have a little talk with the flood or something. Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna stop expecting game lore to be involved on this show just because it's not a priority, and that might be okay for some people. To me, it just feels like a missed opportunity. I'm not saying the show is the worst thing ever.
It's
I'm
been
just
pretty
saying
bad.
I
The
think
last couple episodes have been pretty bad.
I think we missed some opportunities that really would have liked grabbed fans in. And you know it's mind-boggling. I'm almost speechless, like how very different this series ended up being than what we all expected. I thought it was gonna
Well,
be a home home run. I was
Yeah.
talking about it. I'm like, you know what? We have all the source material. You
First
could
episode
pull
was
from
good.
anything. Yeah. I mean, even that was just like, why are people afraid of the Spartans?
Yeah.
They're supposed to be like Earth's mightiest heroes, but whatever. They
I
did
think it's
whatever they
still in its
wanted.
infancy. They're still showing kinda like what happened before you winded up catching up to where what we're used to, which is the Halo start, with Halo, the video game from the Xbox, the original Xbox, and then you go into Halo 2, and you start getting in more and deeper into the story. I think this is kind of like the prequel, and they're trying to, I don't know, they're trying to go ahead and kind of fill in blanks in their own way, but it just doesn't work because they're diverting so far away from the original source material that the audience that you want to really be backing this show have already probably bailed and said, "I'm done." You know, I'm not going to go ahead and watch anymore. We're vested. We're still watching. We're going to, watch the last episode. But I think the way you feel about this particular show is the way I felt about the Book of Boba. Let's put it like that. And
Mm.
the thing too is that I'd like to take bets
Ooh,
on. Do you think Dr. Halsey's going to actually survive this first season? I don't think so.
she doesn't deserve to.
Yeah, I don't think
If
so. Maybe she'll
anybody,
have a redeeming episode, and I think this is what this next episode's gonna be. I think she's gonna have an opportunity, to redeem herself and let John escape safely, while the rest of Reach falls maybe, and that'll be her redeeming quality, that she actually sacrificed herself for the greater good, you know? We'll see.
it's it's possible. She keeps surprising me, when she lets John sort of get away with things from time to
That's her
time,
favorite.
which is a good sign. And then finding out that Cortana betrayed her, she should be pissed off, but she's more like intrigued about it. She's kind of just like, "Ah, I did not expect that." It's more like a well done type of feeling instead of just being upset that her AI is turned her back on.
Cortana pulled a Game of Thrones kinda move on her, you know?
There you go. Pulled out, put the rug out from under her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just there's some are cool. Cortana's cool, but we don't get enough of her.
She
Um,
looks weird, bro. I'm not gonna lie, man.
it's okay. It's all right. I mean, that's the weirdest part of the show. John
No,
117 having a romantic relationship with it's weird, bro.
I don't
It
know. Or
is
Quan
so
Ha having
weird.
that little partake of, that
Oh my god.
intergalactic ayahuasca going on a trip. Weird stuff, man.
Yeah. Does this portal gate that they're guarding, does that play anything into this final episode? Because if it doesn't, why do we do any of this?
Exactly.
Why
Yeah.
we spend so much
Why do you even
time
have Quan Ha?
on this stuff? Oh my gosh. You can have Guan. Let her village get attacked by it, and the
But I'm thinking
the
that's the
Spartans
reason
can
that they
enter.
they had her whole character in here was because of this gateway. Somehow it's supposed to play an important role in this series, but
That's what I'm
we'll
saying. And
see.
if it doesn't, why do we?
Exactly. But I wouldn't be surprised if we never hear from Quan Ha for the rest of this season.
I mean, again, yeah. If we don't, then you're pretty much telling us you wasted our time.
Yeah. But on to
You
better
waste.
things. I'm starting to get into this new Star Trek series that came out too. So me and JC will have
I
something to
know
talk about soon.
you guys keep talking about it, and we need to hurry up and get you guys to say something.
Well, Picard was good, but then they have this new series that started as well. So Strange New Worlds. So we'll have to talk about that at some point.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that'll do it for our discussion on Halo. The finale is tomorrow. So
Well, tonight actually, well, early this morning, like
tonight,
what, 3 in the morning, 2 in the
two
morning,
a.m. 2 a.m. our time. Yeah.
2:01. Usually 2:01 or 2:02 is when they come out.
There you go. So yeah, we're excited. Not really excited, but we're
No, we're not
we're
really excited,
interested
man.
to see what happens. It's probably just gonna end on like a cliffhanger, and then we're not going to get to see a whole lot of Halo or any
Maybe
bit
we
of
should get
it.
Jericho to cover this last episode, man.
Ay, ay, ay. Oh, he has to watch it, right? He should have
He
binged the
hasn't
whole
watched it.
thing.
No, he can't, dude. He can't. He couldn't even
I'm
get
just
through the one
saying
episode.
what you're right. It's exactly what happened. All right. Well, listen, we want to hear from you guys. Let us know what you thought about episode 8. Did you appreciate it better than we did? Let us know in the comments below, or you can send us a message by clicking that send message button on Facebook, or you can always email us on the contact page of our website at www.countdowntothegeekcast.com. Finally, before we go, just very, very quick, I wanted to mention that Stephen Amell, the Green Arrow himself, is coming to the Superhero Car Show and Comic Con, which is being put on by Celebrity Fan Fest. So, new guest announcement: Stephen Amell will be attending one day only, August 6th. That's a Saturday. You know him from the CW Arrow series, but he's also in the current show Heels, which is on Cinemax. Is that right? I think it's on Cinemax. Either way, the first season of Heels was fantastic. I highly recommend it. Very entertaining stuff. Really enjoyed it. So if you're interested in watching a drama series about wrestlers, go check out Heels. But Stephen Amell is going to be in town on Saturday, August 6th. Would be pretty cool to talk. He basically started the Arrowverse on the CW, and it's expanded, greatly. And then now it's downsizing right now, but he's still a huge part of that. So yeah, that'll do it for this episode. Let us know what you thought about any of these episodes, these series that we're talking about: Young Justice, Superman and Lois, or Halo. We will be dropping our Doctor Strange 2 review very soon. Not sure when, but very, very soon. And then we are counting down to the Kenobi series. We're going to be talking about the Kenobi series each and every week, doing reviews on it, probably the night of, hopefully, and
Yeah.
we'll have some guests to talk about the Kenobi series as well.
Yeah, we're gonna have a
For the
pretty
countdown to
pretty
the
big guest coming out.
pretty big guest, yes. That'll do it for us. For the countdown to the Geekcast, my name is Steady. With me on this episode is the man behind the magic, you know him as Joe Garcia.
Yeah, thanks for putting up with us and listening to our shenanigans here, especially when it comes to Halo. We greatly appreciate y'all's support. And once again, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to us, and also make sure you spread the word about the Countdown City Geekcast. Again, we greatly appreciate you guys.
Peace. Have a good night.
Peace.